Hey guys, Kevpert here. Today we'll be doing a 1v1 analysis for Luchvk. So I've had quite a bit of a conversation with him in one of the comment sections of my 1v1 analysis videos, and he says he's been stuck in Rising Stars in 1 for a while. So one of the things I recommend, and I recommended to him, was to watch Gibbs's solo 1v1 playlist and just really study his positioning and decision making. And so we'll see kind of a similar style to Gibbs's play today. There's a lot of strategic play, watching the other player, pressing, capitalizing on mistakes. And so there's a lot of good play in that regard, but there's definitely a lot of things that Luck can work on. So let's get started. We'll just switch to Luck's perspective. Here we go. And I do like that kind of kickoff style, to do the fast kickoff, land early, and then get that second flip, and that way you save a little boost. Anyway, so here we're seeing him start to try out unsuccessfully, but he's starting to trying to improve his awareness. This was the main advice I had in one of my earlier 1v1 analysis videos for the cost of Valve. And this is just something you can use to improve your awareness. Here, he uses rear cam, and you can see that Han Solo is really far, and that's all the information you need from this. So, from a player's perspective, you just tap rear cam, and then you see how far they are. You don't need the context of what direction they're facing or how fast they're coming. You just need to know the distance. And this is enough information for me to say, well, I should just try to get around the ball, handbrake boost, and then try to chip the ball up and get back on the attack. However, Luck, when he does this, he actually slows down. He lets go of gas, he lets go of boost. He tries to watch Han Solo using the right stick, and it's just kind of a mess. He's not in a good defensive position at all, because he's not in front of the ball. And I mean, it's pretty easy. If you look up from Han Solo's perspective, you can kind of see how bad of a position Luck's in. So if Luck is not 100% sure and he's not comfortable with this, then he should probably be going net. But ideally, he should be getting around the ball and starting an attack. So pretty simple. Not a great goal to concede. And so it's another good kickoff. You see he's kind of hit that middle of the ball, top of the ball. So that ball's not flying out to the sides or going up. It's killed dead. And we'll just break down this play because I didn't really like it. But what happens here is, it's a good kickoff. It's not, it goes on his half. So Han Solo's got the ball control. He's got probably boost control. And Han Solo rolls it up the wall, so he gets it. In this position, some players are capable of doing air dribble or just shooting directly from the wall into the net. So Luck should probably just turn off ball cam, just head straight to the net, swivel, turn in the net, and then face the play and then try to get it clear or something from there. Instead, he grabs the boost, slows down, then waits, and gets really lucky that he didn't concede a goal. So you should really be trying to get into the net a lot quicker. Maybe not even going for the boost at this point. He's given him, like 2 free chances of getting a shot on goal there. So he gets a demo there. That's pretty good. And this is a really good play. I'm a fan of that. And then he backs off. And I think this is, a symptom of him trying to play very strategically. And I think he's overthinking things here. Because he wants to always keep an eye on the player. We saw that with the first goal he conceded. But there are times where you just need to shut off that kind of thinking and just try to focus on making your own play. Here we see a very common Gibbs move. Gibbs loves doing this, and I love doing this as well. Just driving along the wall, not jumping, not flipping at this. Since the ball's just resting on the wall, all you do is drive fast, drive into it. You're still in control of the car. All he has to do is jump and then side flip. And looks like he got a little scared that he was going to get bumped. So I'm not sure why he didn't go for that. That should have been a goal. he went up for it, it would have been goal 10 out of 10 times. And he gets demoed. And this is him playing slow again. So he gets a good bump. Now the ball's his. Misses the boost, not a big problem. But you can expect with the bump and Han Solo not being all that... well, Han Solo got pushed, but he pushed this ball, and Han Solo looked like he was still kind of in a good position to keep pressure. So remembering that contextual information, you can probably assume that Han Solo's pretty close and is pressuring. So if you're going to get this boost, you better get it quick, get into the goal, turn, and then face the play. What he does is he actually slows down, which allows him to get demolished. So we can kind of see this from Han Solo's perspective and how easy the demo was. Boom, the ball's rolling, and that's a really common 1v1 demolition. So when the ball's in your corner like that, you have to be a little wary of that kind of thing. Just get out of the way, go to the net, give up the boost, give up the ball, and then just play from there. Okay, so here we see a high kickoff. He hits the middle part of the ball, or a little higher than the middle. And here he's in a good position to get around the ball, so he can chip this up by hitting the bottom right side of the ball with the left front corner of the ball. And he can just chip it up, get the ball moving towards goal. Maybe you can get a power shot, a bounce dribble, whatever, or chip it up and go into a dribble. Or he can roll this ball out further towards the wall. Because it's moving so slowly, he would need to touch it again and grab the boost. What he ends up doing is neither. He goes for a defensive hit when this should be his ball. It should be in his possession all day long. So he doesn't even get the boost, actually. So that's not good play. You don't want to carelessly give away position. But here we start to see what kind of player he is. He's a very good, aggressive player when he's defending. And he has a really good understanding of distance, of knowing when to press, when to flip, and stop the flow of the attack. This is a pretty good example here. I'll slow this right down. When the ball's really high like that, it does take like a second or two to control the ball and move into a dribble. And the ball's on the ground, so Luck actually steps up high, and then when he realizes that he's in a good position to defend, he starts facing his own net, and he's waiting for the bounce. This is not really dangerous at all because when the ball's rolling, it's hard to get the ball bouncing. It's, you know, you're not going to get a chip shot over you, especially if you're behind the ball and the ball's rolling forward. So all he has to do is wait and then figure out the right moment to block it, and he just backflips into it. So that's really good defending. He's facing his own net. He kind of just shadows the play. And we'll just see that in real time. And this kind of defending is very useful. That's a push dribble, but doesn't necessarily have to be on against the push dribble. It could be on a bounce dribble. It can be on a normal dribble where the ball's on top of the car. Occasionally, I just want to cover this because it's a really useful technique. If there's a bounce dribble, what you can do is you can actually just start reversing in the direction of the ball and just catch him by surprise and just kind of backflip into it. Backflips are, however, an all or nothing play. You either get him or you concede. So you only do it when you really need to. And this is an all or nothing play because the ball goes over him, it's in the net. So very well done. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so it looks like he's a little low on boost here, so he's just pushing that. And he pushes through the challenge, gets another 50-50, gets the boost, so he should have the goal. Now, that's the kind of goal that Gibbs kind of makes his a living on. And we'll kind of break that down. We'll go back a little further. So once he gets the push here, Han Solo's in a really weak position. You don't generally want to be in the opposition corner, the ball coming towards you from Han Solo's perspective, and having to be sideways or backwards against the ball. You're gonna have to make an all or nothing play. If you do a backflip, or if you do a side flip, the other player can just kind of boost and push through the ball and push you as well. So Luck does really well to recognize that Hansel was in a bad position. He just kind of pushes the ball and then he gets a good break and scores an open net. Good play. That's kind of the strategy we're starting to see. It's not a good kickoff. He messed up his landing, kicked the side of the ball. But he does hit the underside of the ball, which is why it flies up so crazily. There is a reason why that happens, so not just random. So it hits this ball really low, and we'll see that here. He's hitting the underside of the ball. That's why it chips up. A little worried about the bump there, but a little cautionary bump. A jump, just get out of the way. Here he's got a good understanding distance. He knows the ball's rolling towards him, so he's always favorite to win that ball or get a block. And doesn't hesitate on this. He just goes for the double jump arrow, gets his wheels sorted, and then gets a quick shot. That's really good play. And that's a really common 1v1 play. So the ball will often go high, and it's a matter of who jumps first and who gets to the ball first. So even though Han Solo jumps first, Luck is always in a better position because he's closest to the ball, so he can at least make a block, or if not, outright win the ball. He does. And then he acts quickly because he knows his opponent is behind him and gets a goal on the open net. So he gets 2 breakaway goals. So good use of strategy, good use of player awareness, smart, quick thinking, gets some goals. Okay, the reason why that ball popped up is, again, hitting a little underside of the ball. He gets in a good position to defend, but since Han Solo doesn't hit it that far, just chips it up over, gets a quick goal. Quick thinking, not a goal. So far, he has 3 shots, 3 goals, so he's pretty efficient. And again, that ball goes up really high because he's hitting the other side of the ball. Not really a fan of that. That was a kind of a freak goal. Hansel miscontrolled it and went in the net. But those are kind of a crapshoot if you hit him too low. Here he hits the middle of the ball, and those are always easier to defend. They're always easier to attack with. And he does another wall pass center to himself. And the reason why these are so useful is that you can always maintain control of your car. So you just drive down. You're not flipping, you're not flying out of the way, you're not getting out of position, and you're in a position to shoot. So good play from him. And again, good shadowing there, and stepping in when he needs to, getting another good block. And he almost gets a goal here. It just hits the crossbar. And now he's being really aggressive, and I think he's being too aggressive here. Remember that whole thing I was talking about with Han Solo being in that corner and Luck capitalizing on that? Well, he's in that similar kind of position. So once he doesn't get this boost and Han Solo gets that boost, he should be backing off, getting the mid boost, turning, and then starting to face the play. Instead, he's too close. The only thing he can do here is to maybe get a backflip hit. I wouldn't really recommend it because it's an all or nothing play. You're in the middle of the pitch. If you miss, it's a goal. The best thing you can do is probably start dropping off towards the net, just in case there's like a bounce shot or a power shot, or to defend like a dribble or whatever. So he ends up going for the backflip and it's an easy goal. So that's a positioning error. He's being too aggressive. We saw him be a little successful on stopping the flow of the attack and pressing up high, but he's overextended himself there. He's a little too far, a little too close to the play there. So that's a good kickoff. He gets a little higher on the ball that time. So he should have ball control. He doesn't get it though. But he's played that really well. And I just want to highlight, so he's watched the opponent there. And the opponent's not going to get boost on the other side. So he knows that, maybe a shot's going to happen. So Han Solo enters the picture. And as soon as Han Solo looks like he's going to hit, Luck is turning, facing the net so he can cover this. He knows it's going to roll up the wall. So he can grab the boost and then play from there. And that's really smart play. Big fan of that. And here he's just throwing a little couple shimmies, little fake turns, and he freezes Han Solo. And Han Solo kind of gets confused, doesn't know what to do, kind of goes, kind of doesn't, and then he gets him on the power shot. So these are really good at buying yourself time. So when the ball's up, like a fake jump works too. Fake turns are great. And you can kind of see Han Solo start, stop. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know if he should leave. And luck just gets us on the up bounce. He gets a huge, powerful shot. And then goes right in the net. That's one of the best plays of the game so far. So well done. So that's a, favorite of mine. Gibbs does that kind of fake turn a lot, and that buys him a lot of time and space. Okay, so that's good defending. This is a little unfortunate. It does happen sometimes. Maybe he could have hit a little higher on the ball, hit higher on the car there, but not here. But I'm talking about here. But this is unfortunate. It does happen sometimes. Not much you can do there. So that's not a great kickoff. He doesn't hit that with his nose like I'd want him to. And that's just a pure mechanical error. That's a good decision to go up for that aerial because Han Solo's underneath the ball. Just slow this down a bit. And Han Solo's going to go for that boost. And because he's going for that boost, he's going to be underneath the ball. So if you can attack this with pace, you can get there first. He could probably hit this off the wall, get into his half, maybe get a goal scoring opportunity. At the very least, you're having Han Solo having to turn around so that maybe you can get your own boost in your own corner, buy yourself some time, and he just misses it. Right decision, poor execution. Can't really fault him for that. But those kind of things will cost you a bit, but with good solid play and continued practice, those kind of things will go away. So, and you'll start to find success in 1v1s. Okay, so there he's hit low on the ball, and that's kind of why it was a little crazy. Let's just slow this kickoff down. So he's got center, but he jumps a little late, hits really low on the ball. Han Solo's a little slower, and Han Solo's able to side flip into this and just hit it to the left of him. So he actually misses the bump attempt there. I'm not really too big a fan of that miss because it was a really easy opportunity, I think, from my point of view, to get this bump. I'm not sure if he recognized it or if he could sort his wheels out after the flip. But, that was easily preventable with the bump or demolition. So we're seeing a little bit of carelessness on the kickoffs. So if he gets a little higher up on the kickoffs and kind of kills these balls dead, he can get a lot of better plays. Certainly not wild plays that go straight into net and that sort of thing, or straight to the other player. So he misses that aerial, but great power slide turn. This is what we need to see more of from Luck, especially from an attacking point of view. This is a defensive player, but he misses that. But as soon as he misses that, he has a sense of urgency. He handbrakes wonderfully here, boosts while he does it, and then he's right on the attack. That's so fast. I mean, that's the kind of play we're expecting to see at higher levels. All of a sudden he's on the attack. Han Solo has to make a great block there, but all starts with that power slide turn. Here he doesn't get his distance right, and we'll see him get a little too close. What he should have been doing is been a little more patient, concede the space, concede the dribble. Han Solo's in control here, or not here. Here, Han Solo's in control. You're still flying. You should start turning right and facing towards the goal. At the very least, if you're gonna go for this and be overly aggressive, maybe you have 1 minute left, you're gonna be aggressive, you want to jump early and then flip. But he stays a little too low and he just gets chipped, which is the only thing Han Solo could have done. So that was preventable as well. But I think he's just being a little too aggressive there. He's not respecting that distance like he did earlier in the game. Good kickoff. He can play this fast. He can do a couple things here. Since the ball's rolling up the wall, you can get up over the wall. Sorry, you can drive up the wall and hit the top part of the ball to hit it down to get it bouncing towards the goal. Maybe you can get a power shot. Or you can just drive into the ball really fast, have it go along the wall, and pick up the boost and then regroup. Instead, he does neither. He just lets the ball roll. And he does tip it to the side so he prevents a counterattack, but he gets demoed in the process. So I think he wasted that opportunity, especially when you could have built some attacking pressure or offensive pressure here by just driving along the wall, grabbing the boost, and coming back. But he's going to rush out to stop a dribble before it happens. Makes Han Solo do his move early. And this is a really good turn. This is a really important skill that he needs to hone, and he does it well here. He actually hand brakes, so he's in defensive position, and he turns the defensive position into an attacking play. Maybe, you know, like a top player would be able to turn completely 180 degrees and keep this ball a little more central. He doesn't, but he boosts down. He's playing fast. Here he's got the bounce. He can slow down a bit, boost at the ball, and get a power shot on the up bounce right there. Instead, he misses it, but he does this absolute peach of a play. Like, I can't even do this. Those are really good play. Those are really good plays. Respect to him for improvising and doing that. But he could have definitely had that power shot. And the reason why I talk about power slide boosting and getting around the ball and shipping the ball up and going for bounce dribbles is that that's a really scalable skill. You look at the top 100 players, you look at Marky Duda, look at Pashy, and they regularly do these kind of skills and score goals from bounce dribbles like almost every game that they play, even against top players. So it's very scalable. Doesn't matter if you're challenger, doesn't matter if you're in the top 100, you can still pull them off if you're efficient at doing those turns. So now he's got 20 seconds. He has to play this well. He's trying to get it past him. That's good. It looks like he doesn't have any boost. And we'll see him kind of fail to use power slide effectively here. So when you're turning in tight areas, power slide is your best friend. And that's something he can work on here. Like, he can power slide, get around the ball, and then tip it towards goal here. And here he has to power slide, maybe get around the ball and just flip it into the corner wall and maybe get a center to himself. And he gets neither, and he actually ends up giving a goal. He has to kind of go sideways here. It's a little awkward. He has to block. And he gets pushed through the ball, and Solo gets the goal. And that's kind of an accurate depiction of the game. 10 shots to 7. I mean, Luck's been pretty efficient with his shots. He's scored 6 out of 7. Remember that first, it was like after the first goal he conceded, he had an open net that he could have scored on. He didn't go for those. So he's been pretty efficient. But definitely some things he can work on. I think overall he's a solid player. I think right now Rising Star is his level. He lacks the speed of thought and technical execution that's required at the higher ranks. But you know, it's a bit simplistic to say he doesn't play fast enough. So I want to give him some actionable things to practice in free play. Okay, first things first, I think he has a solid foundation for an aggressive playstyle. He seems to be pretty smart about pressing and being able to play a low boost game. This is where a lot of his goals come from, so adding accurate power slide turns to his game can really help him become a little more dangerous. To practice that, I recommend just going free play, knocking the ball around the ground, and then power sliding and boosting around the ball, and get the ball bouncing. Although this is good practice for bounce dribbling, the simple power slide boost turn is a huge offensive weapon that just lets you be aggressive. You're just getting around the ball, boosting, and there's so many moves you can do with it. It's very versatile. So since he's lacking in a bit of, in terms of defensive moves, he's often capitalizing on 50-50s or an opponent's mistake. Now, these kind of things let you be a little more aggressive in the attack, lets you be able to control games, lets you turn clears into attacks, or defensive clears into attacks, helps you keep possession of the ball and just pepper the opponent's goal with shots. I mean, even from a defensive standpoint, We saw Luchvk get a couple defensive clears where he's just turning around the ball and he stops the flow of attack with the power slide turn and a flip. Those kind of things are really useful too, so they let you be a little more aggressive on the defense as well. So another thing you should work on in free play is just basic dribbling and flip shots. The Dominus is really well suited to this with his flat hitbox. You can just pop the ball up. There's a lot of times in a game where an opponent will back off, grab boost, and give you possession of the ball. So in those situations, you really want to be able to create your own chances with either a bounce dribble or a normal dribble. The more you're able to do that, the more you'll be able to score goals reliably at higher levels. We really didn't see that at all in Luchvk's game. So I hope that was informative. I love doing this analysis since his playstyle is a little interesting, a little different from what's popular, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this information. So anyway, huge thanks to Luchvk for providing me with this replay, and thanks for watching.